Hey everyone, it's Amber Argyle. I just wanted to take a moment as the Fairy Queen series is wrapping up. I only have a novella and a final novel, and both of those should be coming out fairly quickly. Um, the novella of Sand and Storm is nearing its final stages of the drafting, and then it will go through edits. It should be coming out in a few months. And then we have Winter's Air, which is in the final stages of editing. It should be coming back to me with the copy edits sometime today, actually. I'm super excited about it. And then that can start going through a final round of just a few pickups in case there's anything that the editor and I missed, and then that can start being ready for formatting. So I'm really excited to be nearing the end of this journey. It's been a very long journey. I've been through lots of health problems with myself and my children over the last few years. Those of you that know my story know how heartbreaking a lot of that was for my family and I. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the reason that I write books. And one of those reasons is because a creative outlet when you're going through difficult times, when you're going through traumas in your life, is super important. It can help you get through that and give you an outlet that nothing else can compare to. So it does add a lot of stress as well, especially when you start making it your business. But for me, it's worth it. So I wanted to just really quickly go through each of the books. This one is the book that started it all. This is Winter Queen. I've talked about before that this book kind of came about, the idea for it, when I was a young woman, and I first watched the movie The Last of the Mohicans and realized that as a child there's all of these rules that your parents used to keep you safe, and for my brother those rules were going away. He was turning into a man, and he was strong, and he didn't have to worry about dark alleys or stranger danger or all of these things, but they weren't going away for me. And they never were going to go completely away. There was always going to be this looming threat that I had to be aware of my surroundings, and that, I had to be careful on dates and things like this. And so the theme of this book is strong as a sapling, and strong as stone, supple as a sapling. And that kind of also comes about because I, as a girl, thought that being strong was all you needed. That as long as you were strong, you could kind of push your way through anything. And as a woman, I have learned that that's not true. Sometimes you have to be flexible. And there's lots of situations where being strong is actually a detriment, because you've got to be able to be flexible and dynamic and change your views and change how things happen. There's got to be that part to it, because you just keep pushing through, eventually you'll end up breaking. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was the theme for the second book, and that one is Summer Queen. And this is, the theme is to rise from the ashes first you must burn. And this kind of came about because, I've also realized that we have situations that we go through, and they teach us things, and the only way to be taught those things is to kind of go through the fire. The only way to really get empathy for another human being in the situation they're in is to experience that situation yourself. You can have sympathy for a person, but it's not the same as empathy. And there's a lot of lessons that you learn, and the only way you can learn is by making mistakes and learning why it doesn't work. And this applies to life lessons, but it also applies to simple things like editing. You make mistakes as an author, and you learn to grow because of those mistakes. And then the final two books in the series, Daughter of Winter and Winter's Air, explore the theme of outshining the darkness. And there's been a lot of darkness in my life. I think that one of the things that binds all human beings together is the struggle. Life is hard. Uh, there's times where it's harder than others, and there's times where it's not too bad, but it's never an easy thing. And there's times where you feel like the world's on fire around you and everything's burning down to the ground. And you just have to outshine that darkness, the heartache and the loneliness and the suffering. There's a light inside of you. You can outshine it. You can get past that darkness. The dawn comes. And sometimes it doesn't come in the way that we experienced or the way that we hoped we would experience. Sometimes it's a cloudy dawn, but it still comes. And that's why I love fiction. That's why I love heroes, because that's what books are about. It's about characters that go through the world and they have this darkness and they're going through the fire and they're struggling and they're learning and they're growing, and they are, when everything's burning down around them, they find a way to grab onto hope. They find a way to grab onto this belief that dawn will come, that the darkness can't last forever, that they can be strong, that they can be supple, that they can rise from the ashes and become something better, that they are not limited by what's happened to them. And I don't know how to share those things other than through words, other than through creating stories. So I want you guys to know that there's light inside of you and the world needs it. Share your light and read my books. Later.